Outrage tonight is that 68 boxes worth of documents proving the city knew just how toxic Ground Zero was are only now coming to light.
While we don't know what started that argument, we do know there are no less than 3 cameras facing into this entranceway.
And tonight you can see the entire road in front of 26 Federal Plaza remaining closed off after an anti-ICE extremist set fire to the steps.
Those protesters were right up on those walls, but as the protests have continued throughout the day, police have moved them. Speaking to News 12 in Russian, Anna says at first she thought it was an earthquake. As fire officials throughout the evening continue to try and knock down those flames, you can see firefighters shooting water through what was this landmark church's roof.
These apartments are sitting at 54 degrees on the inside, and that is before the winter storm. And now we're learning there's more issues. Take a look at this rusting fire escape. This is what's left of a tree that fell and injured 4 people yesterday here in Herbert von King Park. You can see this is all that's left of it.
Dramatic video shows the moments a group of bikers jumped into action to rescue 2 people passed out in a car with a child in the back seat.
For those doubting my pitmaster chops, well, you're right. It is much easier to cut this brisket after it spent 14 hours in that hot smoker behind me. Perfect snowball making snow, as I'm going to attempt to make one here. Easy, didn't even take any effort.
This is one of 2 washing machines that this building with 48 families rely on.
Tags that expired in November that lists a Toyota, despite the fact this is very clearly a Lincoln. Now, residents here say they don't know who this thing belongs to, but they know it doesn't belong here. Shocking video showing the moment that Troy McLeod is attacked while simply taking his dogs for a walk.
Call 911. Call 911. How can you do that to a man in a wheelchair?
I was in panic and then I tried to get up. But lucky thing someone was there.
It felt like a vengeful vibe to me because for the extent of the situation, there was no need for it.
Troy McLeod says he was taking his dogs for a walk on Lincoln Place when this man, identified as Levi Kabakov, appeared agitated and told McLeod to take his dogs away from his children, something McLeod says he did, adding his dogs were muzzled and not aggressive.
My dogs did not do anything to his children. And even when he was violating me, my dogs still didn't involve themselves to hurt him.
Police say the suspect continued to act aggressively, throwing a wooden block at McLeod and striking him multiple times with a bench before pushing him out of his chair, despite onlookers' attempts to stop him. He now faces 2 counts of second-degree assault. McLeod says the attack has left him with chronic pain in his hands, which he needs to get around.
When he hit me with a big piece of bench, I had to block it twice. So that's why my hand was in pain.
He tells us he wants Kabakov to take responsibility and for people to know it is never okay to resort to violence.
If you have a problem with anything, call someone, take a time out. But you have no right to put your hands or violate anyone for no reason.
How can you do that to a man in a wheelchair? In a wheelchair.
I was in panic and then I tried to get up. But lucky thing someone was there.
It felt like a vengeful vibe to me.
I knew this was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna get stuck in this thing one day.
This video of Gabby Calamiris stuck inside the new pod-style doors at Pure Gym taking off on TikTok. She says with no staff around, she had to wait for another member to let her out.
Nah.
It was very nerve-wracking and just like very claustrophobic. I kept saying under my breath, like, this is dumb, I'm gonna get stuck in here one day, and then I did. God forbid there was like a fire or even, I don't know, like a safety threat in the gym. People should be able to very quickly get out.
And she's not alone.
I feel like I'm going through TSA. Literally my phone died and I had to tell the girl, oh, can you let me get out?
Now, Pure Gym tells us they don't know what went wrong for Gabby, but they do know that there are safety emergency buttons inside all of these pods, but if you really hate it, there are also normal doors. Right next to it, you can ask to use.
Somebody is claustrophobic and absolutely doesn't want to use the pods, they can come and speak to a member of staff and we can, of course, put that access onto their membership.
We're told the gym is also adding more branding inside the pod to make it clear there are emergency release buttons.
If it's happened once, we should have always had a sticker there, so we've taken that action.
The gym says there are also 24-hour cameras, a number to call, and a safety checkpoint to send help if staff aren't around. But Gabby's hoping she can sidestep these pods for good.
After getting stuck in there, I would like to be qualified to use that door.
Pure Gym adds both the doors and the pods are ADA compliant and were cleared by the Department of Buildings. Rob Flaks, News 12, Brooklyn.
After this dollar van went headfirst into a healthcare clinic back on the 4th of July, the owner left with many unanswered questions about the police response that followed. She says the driver appeared drunk with alcohol visible in the front seat of the van, but was not breathalyzed or given a sobriety test by the officers.
The officer told me they couldn't search the car. And we were like, what do you mean you can't search the car after a big crash? So that didn't make any sense. And I said, officers, can we do a breathalyzer? They told me, no, she's not drunk. And I asked them, how do you know she's not drunk? And the officer told me because she said so.
After News 12 reached out to police, we're now told that incident is under an internal investigation. The owner says she's glad because what police told her on the scene did not make sense.
It's encouraging because at least that part of the NYPD, the Internal Affairs Bureau, at least realized something is also wrong.
And this is what her clinic is looking like today, completely boarded up, and a notice to vacate posted by DOB in the front of what used to be her entrance. Tells us she's following the rules, but she feels like the woman who crashed into her clinic got to break all of them.
She drove into this clinic, appeared drunk with no insurance and no arrest. And I'm left with nothing.
We're told the driver was given 2 civil summons for driving without tags or a valid license, and that investigation remains ongoing. In Flatbush, Rob Flaks, News 12, Brooklyn.
What?
This collapsed bathroom ceiling has 96-year-old Adele Kogan using an umbrella in her own home. She shows us where the water is still trickling. She says it's been a decade-long disaster with water damage in all corners, even spoiling a photo of her grandmother from the 1800s. A survivor of the Holocaust, Miss Adele says these conditions are hurting her health.
I can't breathe. I can't go anywhere in my apartment because the water is running on my head with the painting falls on me.
NYCHA told Miss Adele they'd be coming by, replastering some of her walls and fixing up her ceilings. But she tells us that is just a Band-Aid. She tells us the real solution is fixing the unit and the tenant upstairs.
She kills me.
Miss Adele says the neighbor turns away repair crews, leaving water damage to spread. She says NYCHA needs to hold that tenant accountable.
And I want her to be punished because she doesn't care what's going on, what she does.
NYCHA says it's visiting the unit, but Miss Adele's heard that one before, and she doesn't have another decade to wait. In Sheepshead Bay, Rob Flaks, News 12, Brooklyn.